Coach, you want to pivot that just slightly so you're more in the center for us? Yeah, there you go.
All right.
That'll be perfect. So we'll get things started with Coach Ledford for whoever has questions for him. Michael, you go for it.
Hey, Coach Ledford, Michael McCammon from Cardinal Authority. Obviously, there was the pause and then the return. What's that return been like, and is it difficult or has it been a challenge to get, I guess, the focus from the guys, once they did come back from such a pause?
I don't think so. I think that it was good. Like on Sunday when we got back out here and we got the results back from that Sunday test and got back to, just coming back out here for practice. Thought the guys were very focused. They were eager. It's kind of, and I talked to a couple of them and, I think the difficult thing was like, you're preparing for a game. You're almost to the point to where it's almost time to travel. We got the majority of the weekend and then that gets pulled out from underneath you. And, but I think the guys handled it extremely well. And I thought they came back into practice on Sunday, very focused. And, we talk to these kids all the time this year, like, who knows what to expect, but we got to be able to handle it to the best that we can. And I thought the kids did a really good job of that on Sunday and came out to practice and practiced hard.
Jonathan, go ahead.
Hey, Dwyane. Scott said on Monday that, even with the extra time that you all have had, he doesn't believe in over-preparing for opponents. I just kind of want to get some of your quick thoughts on that and also some of your thoughts on the pressure that the Cardinals could possibly face from the Virginia Tech defense come Saturday.
Yeah, well, like you never feel like you're ever, to me, like you're over prepared. You're always, taking a look at things and just making sure the guys are understanding what it is that you're trying to get them to do week in and week out. Virginia, they present we played them last year. They represented their side in the ACC for the ACC championship, and a lot of the same players. They're missing a couple of players from last year's team, but the guys are all back. They're very experienced on defense. I think they're very active. I think they're smart. They're big and long up front. Those guys occupy blocks well, and those linebackers, they really, really they fit the run extremely well. And I think their stats, it shows that. So, obviously that presents its problems within itself and makes us where we have to be on top of our game with what we're trying to get done. And so, but this team, this Virginia team, it's a tough, physical group of players that they got a big physical front, and their backers in the back end, they really run well.
Michael, go ahead.
Kind of a follow up on my previous question about the return. Coach Satterfield mentioned that you guys will be continuing to test throughout the week. Has there been any additional impact from guys having to step into quarantine or positive tests at this point? And then also as a second follow up or a second question, going back to Virginia, what is it about their defense that makes it so difficult to run against?
Yeah, well, pretty much right now what we're doing, we're almost testing. I think that we've gotten tested every day, and so it's kind of the norm right now. And I think Matt and his crew has done an outstanding job of keeping everything, to where we can move forward. Because that was the big thing on Sunday. As long as we got those tests back and those tests were negative, we were going to be able to move forward. And I thought that the kids did a great job with their time off of making sure that they're trying to follow all the protocols and everything like that Matt and his staff has put together. And I can't say enough good things about Matt and what he's done to allowing us to continue doing what we're doing. And so that's and we continue to do, I think, like tomorrow, like normally we would test 3-4 times a week. Right now we've tested every day so far. And so we'll continue to do that and just making sure that we're being as cautious as we can as we're moving forward. To go with that next question with Virginia, I think the thing that really is impressive with them is up front, they got some big guys. They got great size up front, and those guys eat up a lot of blocks. And so you don't see they're eating up two guys a lot of times, and what that allows those linebackers to do. Those linebackers are smart. They've played a lot of football together, and they know where to fit very well in what they're trying to fit against you as far as your scheme. And so they do a great job with it. The backers know where to be. I think they do a great job of film study. They're going to know your tendencies. I think they're very good fundamentally. Anytime when you're going up a defense and you see their guys using their hands extremely well, playing their gaps, fitting the run, even when they're blitzing or they're trying to bring pressure, those guys aren't out of gaps. They're where they're supposed to be. You know that it's a very disciplined group. And so they're going to be where they're supposed to be. They're going to play hard. They play through the whistle. And it's like last year when we played these guys, we talked about the same thing. It's a disciplined group that's physical, and they're going to play extremely hard all the way to the end. And, so they present a lot of challenges on that side of the ball for sure for us.
Jonathan.
Dwyane, looks like, even though they're strong up against the run, it looks like they've had some struggles this season defending the pass. What have you all as an offense kind of seen in terms of opportunities that could be there for the Cardinals in the passing game?
Yeah, well, I think that they've dealt with some injuries on the back end, as going through the season, and so their depth, I don't think it has been what they're accustomed to back there. So they're playing fewer people. But as you look at it, I think what they're going to try to do is do a good job of taking away what it is you're going to try to get going. And obviously, I think that you look at Malik in this last game, and you look at the way some of our receivers play. I think that obviously we're going to try to do our best of getting some matchups, getting some opportunities to our wideouts. Using those guys often and early, because obviously, those guys are big time players for us, and so it's something that we're definitely taking a look at.
All right. Anything else for Coach Ledford before we finish? Yeah, Michael, go ahead.
Coach, with seeing what happened to the defense and a lot of those, how thin that got with its test results, does that kind of maybe give you guys pause or maybe motivate you, or whatever the word I'm looking for, to get some of the younger guys a little bit more snaps in practice in case something like that happens to the offensive front?
Yeah, well, it's something that we talked about even during the time off that we had, trying to get some of these guys playing a lot of different positions as well. Just in case if something happens, and kind of look at some scenarios of what if this happens? All right, we got to be able to move this person here. But as we say that, actually doing it during practice so those guys get some good live reps of it. And so we are, going through that during practice of, all right, this series we're saying so-and-so, they're out. We're missing them this game. So we got to take, Josh Black, and we got to play him here in this spot, just to get them ready, some of those guys that haven't played much, but just trying to get those guys going because of what happened, as you saw with the defense. And just, you never know. You never know what's going to happen this year, with it. If it runs through your team or a certain position group, but you got to prepare for it. And so we definitely go through some different scenarios that we try to go throughout the week of saying, what if we're missing this guy? Who's going to fill in? Well, let's get him some reps at that position then.
All right. I don't have anything else, so we'll stop there, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right here?
Yeah.
All right, guys, you go ahead and you can let me know if you've got questions. We have Malik Cunningham with us now, and so we'll get started when you guys have something for us. Go for it, Michael. Start us off again.
Hey, Malik, Michael McCammon from Cardinal Authority. I guess before we get into talking about Virginia, what was that pause like? It had to be a little bit different to, be sitting in your apartment or whatever you were doing and not participating in football. And was it difficult to come back and get your mind right, focus back on football after that pause?
It was very difficult over the 3 or 4 days that we had. I mean, I watched a lot of ball, just try to get ahead on the opponent. And just coming back, being able to be back, it's good to be around the guys. I mean, we've been going by the protocols and staying away from each other, mask on, and just trying to do everything right, so we'll be able to play this weekend.
Jonathan.
And Malik, I've talked to a couple of your coaches about kind of a look at Virginia and kind of how you all can deal with them in the passing game. I just wanted to ask you, have you looked at this game and kind of, picked out a couple of things that you're looking to do specifically to enhance yourself as a passer?
Yes. First thing being protect the football at all costs, whether it's throwing the ball or when I tuck it and run. And Virginia's a very good defense. They got some a couple guys that stand out. Number 11, the outside linebacker, he's a very good player. I've been playing against him for 2 years, and he's pretty good. They got a couple good linebackers, and secondary is also good as well.
Go for it, Michael.
Going back to Virginia, they've proven they're really tough against the run. When you're watching film on them, do you see any tendencies or anything that maybe get you excited about, maybe getting back in the pocket and throwing the ball?
Yes. I mean, a lot of teams, they played a lot of teams this year, and we run a lot of similar plays that a lot of teams have hit them with, and we're looking to execute those plays on Saturday to give us a chance to win.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
In terms of, what you all are kind of looking to do, have you all, when it comes to, the air attack, are you all looking at, short passes versus big shots down the field? What have y'all kind of, I guess, picked out in terms of what that looks like for you all?
I mean, we're gonna run our offense and just take what the defense give us, whether it's down the field or short throws. Just try to just run our offense how we normally do, and hopefully we can execute and make some plays.
Yeah, go for it, Michael.
Malik, one of the things that I guess that was the big talk, prior to the pause was how more, focused the team had become, from the Notre Dame game into the Florida State win, about just how everybody, I guess, was coming together, make it go on that extra yard, so to speak. Is that still present? Do you see it, or did the pause kind of make that fizzle out a little bit?
No, it's still there to focus. Just us leaders trying to keep those guys focused. I mean, we came off a tough loss and took a week off, and we're really just anxious as a team to get back out there and finally get a chance to play. So we can't wait to play Saturday.
All right, anybody got anything else for Malik? All right, looks like we're good. And thanks, Malik. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for doing this.
Alan James.
Oh,